Hello, everybody. It's nice to see you here. I hear myself, okay. My name is Daniil, and I'm Senior QA Automation Engineer at Wrike. Today, I will share with you how we build AI-powered search application for user testing in Wrike. Wrike is my first place of work. I started here when I was on the third year at university as intern QA automation engineer, and I'm still here. Now I'm senior, and I still continue developing internal tools for QA and QA. And my hobby is Cyprus, is snorkeling and ping pong. Second. We will cover a lot of different things regarding this application, our motivation, how we build it, its advantages, disadvantages, some use cases from my team, metrics, and in the end, I will share with you how to build the same application in your company. Okay, sometimes you need to search through different sources because in companies it's really hard to have one document for everything. And you can have internal knowledge base, some test plans, source code, and they have different formats there in different places. And it's really hard to navigate through them. That's why we came up with the idea to use AI for search and summarizing information. Guys, do you have the same problem? Do you use any tools for searching through different sources in your companies? What do you use, for example? Mm, okay, okay, let's continue. We can discuss in the end because without micro, it's hard. Let's discuss it in the question and answers. And we built the application for it. And the base of the application is the Vertex AI search. It's a retrieval augmented generation system which provides AI-powered research through different source files. It can sound a little bit hard, but it's easy. You just ask the question and it returns related files. And to use this Vertex AI, you need to upload data to the Google Cloud. If you want to upload data, it's better to remove all sensitive information because maybe you don't want to share your internal IP address, token, etc. And after that, you can upload all data to the Vertex AI. And if you want to keep it up to date, you can set up simple CI job for uploading new files and triggering reindexing. And after that, you can build the application. Our application consists of three parts. AI app, it's a web application which DataOps team developed for us, and Vertex AI for searching for related files, and ChatGPT for summarizing the information. For users, the interface is very simple. User just write a question and we send it to the Vertex AI. After that, Vertex AI returns the related files and we just show the information about files on UI. After that, we concatenate the user's question with the files with predefined prompt and send everything to the ChatGPT in one query for summarization. And the last step, we show the result on UI. And that's all. All steps are simple and users can enjoy the result. You can see here the questions, summarization, search results. And if it's not enough for you, you can go to the files and check the details. Okay, let's move to the advantages. This tool is very good in answering specific queries, like how to use some specific feature. Vertex AI will find related files using the semantic search. Then these files will be sent to the ChatGPT, and user will find information about specific feature. It's very important for question to be specific because in other case, it will be hard to retrieve related files. And if you have some information in wiki articles about test stability, Vertex AI will find it. And the same for source code. For example, if you have some source code for data generation, Vertex AI will understand it from the context of the class and return the results. The same logic applies to the yes/no queries. Uh, you can ask, do you have some type of tests? Which languages, frameworks do you use? And you will understand it from imports from source files. And ChatGPT will summarize the information. Do you have such framework or no? And the killer feature for us, we use ChatGPT together with Vertex AI. That's why it's not just search. And this application can also summarize information and do simple tasks. Here, for this presentation, I asked you to create REST test for invite your user in Wrike and creating a task. And it found related files in our source code. It found some code styles, and it did a test. And it compiles and check everything what I want. And after small refactoring, I can merge it. So I saved like 10, 15 minutes on writing code. And what's more important, on searching these methods. Because if you ask ChatGPT without the Vertex AI, it will write some test, but probably it will not uh, work in your project because you can have another methods for creating driver, for retrieving user data, and etc. And we place some examples of code, good code, into WebTest rules package. And after that, I can use this package to review my code. I asked this application to review my code using information from this package. Vertex AI found the related files in this package, and it wrote me that I use absolute XPath, but I should use relative because this information was in the files in the package. Let's move to the weaknesses. Uh, Unfortunately, this application is not like universal tool. Sometimes it cannot answer your question because the context of ChatGPT is limited, and also the amount of files returned by Vertex AI is also limited. So if you ask it to uh, count amount of tests, some handlers to collect information about them, or which design patterns have been used in the project, it cannot answer it because it just cannot have whole project in the context. That's why you should use more specific queries. And unfortunately, ChatGPT is not very good with complex queries. But after I did this slide, I tried O1, it's work great with this query. So probably you can try it with O1 and it will work for you. And in implementation I showed you, it cannot chat with you because you just asked for the files for question, then summarized, and it's not clear how to continue the conversation. It's possible, and we plan to implement it, but now it doesn't work. Okay, Let's move on to some use cases from me and my colleagues when it can help. The first use case is that I wanted to run Safari tests. I scheduled the build, but I see that after 30 minutes, it's still waiting for something. And I see that there are no idle agents for the Safari test. Go to this application and ask it, which agents do we have for Safari tests? And it found this information in some wiki articles, and I don't need to go to wiki to find it. So I have all information that we use Selenium Grid and only one agent is hub. That's why you have only one agent in TeamCity. And important thing here, you can see that IP address and names of pool are removed. That step which I did on data preparation. So I removed all sensitive data and Google just doesn't know the IP address. But you can go to the sources and check in the original wiki article what is the IP address of this agent. The second case, I tried to run GDPR tests locally, but I had some strange error and I just don't know how to fix it. I ask it, I try to run GDPR test, but I have error. And important thing here is that I specified in question that it's a GDPR test. Because if you don't specify, probably it will not help you because it will not know which files are related to questions. But I specified it found GDPR monitor article and answered that I need to set up proxy for these tests. Another case with test writing, I found bug that not ASCII characters are not passed correctly into input, and I want to add test for it into existing class. I asked it to add test, and it did generated the code. And again, you can see that it use our code style, and it even found some methods in other classes with clipboard tests and wrote this test. And again, I saved 15 minutes on writing this test. And even if I have ChatGPT, I will spend more time to find some example of clipboard test, copy pasted to ChatGPT, and I will spend more time. So this tool always have context of your articles, of your rules, some projects. That's why it's useful. And the last case, we always have newcomers in companies and they have a lot of questions. It's hard to find this information in the wiki to set up the project, and it can spend a lot of time for them. But this tool uh, make it very easy. It can answer any question for newcomer, but it's better to validate the answer, of course. In this case, I asked it to how to set up web test project. It gave me some instructions on required software. And even if I'm not sure in the answer, I can go to the search results because here you can see I have number 3 in the end, the link to the origin. I can go into this article and read it. And I don't need to find it in the big wiki. And of course, metrics in QA department, we collect a lot of metrics on which tests do we have, how many builds, build runtime, etc. And we cannot create new tool without metrics, so we did it to understand if it's useful. And here you can see we had about 150 search events per week. But in the start of August, we provided knowledge sharing, And now we have about 300 search events per week. So this application is useful. In the end, you see that it goes down. It happens because we moved to another tracking system. I want to be honest with you. And you can see the same picture, positive picture with feedbacks. We had negative feedbacks, but after knowledge sharing, we shared the information, which information you can answer, that you should not answer aggregation queries. People got known to this instrument. Now we have positive feedbacks mostly. But again, you should provide more information about implementation because it's very important to understand that it cannot answer all questions. Okay, let's move on to the last part, how to build the same application. It's very easy. You can do it in one day. You just upload all your data to any RAG system like Vertex AI or Amazon SageMaker. It's better to ask your security. Yeah. And that's all. Uh, Mostly the systems already have summarization and UI, and they will provide it. But in some cases, it's better to create your own application because, for example, Vertex AI does summarization with Gemini, and you cannot set up it. And if you want to change it to ChatGPT, you cannot. That's why we created application where we send a question to Regi system. And after that, we can do anything we want with these files. We can show it to user. We can do summarization with any AI and show results on UI. So if you want a flexible solution, it's better to create your own application. Thank you.